Hi, this is Claire Lee, first time recording, long time listener. I interviewed Todd Carr from City Winery in Chicago. He works as the managing of private events. So, a little background about Todd. He worked at the Berghoff restaurant for number of years, and then he also was the general manager for Social Pillar Cafe in Rogers Park. Both those times he was my boss, so I know him pretty well. But I will call him Mr. Carr out of respect, because we're trying to be professional. So, anyway, I asked him couple of things that were relevant to the final project. First, I asked him what his typical day was like, and he said that usually he's the first one in, and he will make sure that the first thing he does is check the schedule to see who is working for the day. He also does some side work for the servers, and he makes sure that the kitchen staff is there. After all that, he goes up to his office and checks his phone messages and emails and returns calls that he needs to return. Sorry. Then he will basically do all that personal type of thing in the morning, because the rest of the day is going to be extremely busy. Once all the admin type things are done, he goes back down to the restaurant and he makes sure, like, when the staff comes in, he makes sure that they're on their task and doing their job and getting things set up and prep work done. And then he has a pre-shift meeting right before the doors open. Well, probably not right before, but like maybe an hour before, to go over special events and special new information or any kind of thing that popped up overnight that his servers, bartenders, buzzers, staff, everyone knows about. And then when the doors actually open, he says that he spends 95% of the time making sure that his staff is doing their job. When a crisis occurs, he handles it with ease and patience. And after service is over and the restaurant has closed down, he then reconciles the bookkeeping, labor reports, and runs sales reports to make sure that everyone is clocked in and out at the right time. He also budgets numbers for the day and makes sure that he is prepared and organized for the next day. I then asked him, with all this craziness going on, how does he deal with the stress? Because he's probably working 13 to 14 hours a day. That must be intense. He says that he takes stress as it comes. He tries not to overburden himself by just being very organized, and he says that he makes sure that his staff is on the ball and that they are well trained, which is his job as well. And he's actually a really good boss. He trained me, so I can say that they are probably really well trained over there. Okay, I keep getting off track. So then I asked him what the level of difficulty in hiring people is, and he said that it's actually not hard to hire people. It's hard for them to stay at City Winery because it's very high pressured and they have to memorize a lot. And it's just it's hard to keep people there. So that's they realize that there's too much pressure and they can't handle it, basically. I asked him what are his challenges at his job, and he said that because he does work like sometimes 13, 14 hours a day, the long hours can be very hard, but since he's been in this business for 15 years or so, he's definitely gotten used to it. And he then also talks about how he has a head position, and because of that, he is in charge of training people and in that process he gets to know people, well, his employees, but at the same time, sometimes because he is the head, one of the head positions, he has to make unpopular decisions, and sometimes it just doesn't go well. So he did say that making friends is not one of his top priorities at work because it can get sticky, which it's pretty, I would agree with that. I would probably have the same mindset if I was managing a bunch of people. But he also said that there were a bunch of joys of working at his job. For instance, he loves managing people. He's been in the business for 15 years, so I can't imagine if he hates it, why would he stay in it? And he said that the joys, you really have to like people to work in this kind of industry, and you have to be patient, and you have to be understanding, and sorry. He said that it's most gratifying when guests come in for special occasions, great food, great service, and a wonderful experience. It really makes him feel good when he knows that his staff and restaurant are put down in someone's memory as having had a great experience. It's a magical feeling. The upside to that also is that those guests keep coming back, which makes it great for business. The other best part that keeps me in the business is working for a good company that really cares about the quality of their food and about their employees. It is my role to train the servers, bussers, and bartenders to do things how we want them to be done. When all those things come together, a beautiful product comes out, and when we serve it to our guests, they say how wonderful it was, and it gives me a sense of pride that I work at a successful restaurant. Then I asked him what are his techniques for motivation, leadership, and communication. His techniques for motivation, leadership, and communication all are given during the lineup meeting that we have each day before service. If I don't hold these meetings, the staff will be confused. There are different things that happen in this restaurant every day, and new things pop up. I must lead and inform my employees of these changes at every chance that I can get, because when service starts, there is no time to stand around and chat. And then I asked him, as a final question, why did he choose to work at City Winery? He said he chose to work there because he likes the menu and how they operate, and he wanted to stay in a managing position because he feels that he knows how to do it and has the skills to do it well, and he is also good at what he does. And that's a wrap.